And we are back for another casual conversation with the classic. I'm here with my guest host today, one half of the Salt Shakers, Nikki Bushi. Guys, WWE is coming back to Vancouver January 5th to Rogers Arena. Coming back here to Vancouver, where I'm from. Nikki's not from here, but I'm from here. Last time they were here were February 14th, 2020, before the pandemic for a SmackDown. So it's been a minute. We are excited. And because we're excited, we got a very special guest. We got the EST of the WWE, Bianca Belair. How are you doing today?
I'm doing good. How are you?
I'm doing great. I'm excited that you guys are coming back here, but there's some big stuff happening in your career. So let's jump right into it. We got the Love and WWE, the Bianca Montez reality show coming out this February on Hulu, 8 episodes. What can you tell us about the show and what can we look forward to?
Woo! Yeah, it's a Hulu series, like you said, February 2nd on Hulu, and it is just a show about my husband and I. The WWE Universe. They see who we are in the ring, even though it's usually separate in the ring, but we're just pulling that curtain back, and we're going to show everybody who we are outside the ring at home. We filmed it on the road to WrestleMania, which is the busiest, most stressful time of the year. And so it's just showing how we navigated all of that, just trying to be like a WWE superstar and worker, and then trying to be husband and wife at the same time, doing all of that. And I'm excited for it. I'm nervous about it. Never thought that I would like be someone that does like reality TV, but I'm super excited for it. And just showing the WWE universe more of who we are, and then like trying to get like a bigger audience outside of that as well, and show like wrestling is cool, wrestling's dope. Come check us out. So excited about it, but nervous.
I mean, seeing you guys on social media, two big personalities. You guys look like you guys are always having a blast, having a great time together. You guys' person, like your guys' energy is very attractive and addicting. So I think it'll be really good for people. Was it weird for you having cameras following you around and that whole experience?
It was. I mean, I will admit that, and it's funny because, you would think that I'm used to having cameras in my face, but that's when I'm at work. That's when I'm at Raw and I'm at SmackDown and I'm Bianca Belair, and I can like the red light comes on and I turn it on. At home, I'm ready to turn it off.
Yeah.
In real life, I'm actually like a shy person. And I'm more like laid back and more reserved. My husband, Montez Ford, who he is, who I get at home, 24/7, wild, crazy energy. But it's a contrast. We balance each other out. I'm very like high anxiety and stress, especially around WrestleMania time. And but it was kind of weird for me at first, because we're doing like cameras are following you around for SmackDown and the live house shows on Saturday, Sunday, and then Raw on Monday, and then when you come home Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, they're still following you around. So, but I wanted this to just be like myself at home and show who I am outside of it. So it was an adjustment, but
Yeah.
it to be just genuine and real. So hopefully everybody enjoys it.
Definitely looking forward to the show. Everyone, guys, check that out February 2nd on Hulu.
Yeah, definitely. So we have to talk about Bianca Belair, the roughest, the toughest, the strongest, the EST, the Tennessee Queen.
Yes.
Listen, I have to know because it's fresh, it's very new. When you saw Kyrie Sane, what was your initial reaction?
I was confused. Like I honestly, I really, really thought, jokes on me, I really thought that Ia was going to show up by herself. I mean, we've been going through this for over a year. Um, and I can understand showing up with your supporting cast to take the title from me, to cash in on me and get the title. But you have the title. So I thought that, you have enough confidence to show up and just, face me alone. I put Bailey through a table the week before to kind of tell her, like, listen, stay home for your own good. Just stay home. So when Bailey popped up, I'm like, what? Okay, wow. Okay. But then I thought that was kind of the end of it. So when I turned around and I saw Kyrie, I was just completely like thrown off, because usually, I mean, I'm in a fight. If somebody's in my face and you're on the opposing side, I'm gonna get you. But I was just kind of confused, like, because she pulled Bailey down. So I'm like, are you here to help me? No, you're not here to help. Like, what's going on? So I was kind of just like paralyzed with confusion. And then once she smacked me upside the face, I was like, oh. And then it just didn't stop. And then at that point, I was like, wow, I mean, I'm just outnumbered at this point. So I was still trying to finish the match, and it just went downhill from there. But now I know. So I was just very confused.
100%. Gotta have eyes behind your head at this point. You knew you had worried about damage control, but now there's Kairi Sane out of nowhere.
We see each other.
Yeah.
Definitely. So I want to know, we've seen you have such a historic feud with Becky Lynch, from WrestleMania moments to all different moments. And she's recently went back down to NXT to grab that NXT Women's Championship, something you've never held.
Yeah.
Is there anything in your mind that makes you want to take that step back to NXT?
When I saw Becky in NXT and then she got the title, I was like, oh wait, because she never got the title when she was in NXT. And so I was like very happy for her. I was like, you go and get that title, because we all know that, especially because when you start in NXT, that's where you're trying to prove yourself. That's where you're trying to that's where the grind is like real. You're trying to show like I belong here. And that's like the foundation of everything. So to leave NXT without the title, even though you go and I was able, like Becky went and main event at WrestleMania, I main event at WrestleMania. You become, I've been 3-time champion. I've done historic matches on main event on the main roster. It's still in the back of your mind where you're just like, but I never got that back then, because for me that NXT title was like validation for me when I was in NXT, and I never understood like why can't I accomplish this and get this title? Because if I can't do this here, how can I do things on the main roster? So when I saw her get that title, I was like, I know that was like a check mark for her. And even though she's gone to do like great things, that was always like something she wanted to check off her list. So I'm like, you know what, I feel her, because I feel the same way. So yes, I can see you like one day trying to go and mark that off of my accomplishments list, because I was never able to do that.
Is there anybody on NXT that you see now that is coming up? We just had the breakout tournament happen, that you would love to work with, that you haven't had the opportunity to work with yet?
Oh, it's so many girls in NXT right now. They're just like catching on to it, and then with the NIL program happening, like it's just so many girls that are coming in, and I get excited for any of like the NIL girls too, because like that's the same background as me, and I know how it is to come in and like you're in this new world and trying to learn and catch on to everything. But I mean, all of the girls down there are doing big things. You have Tiffany that's doing big things. Like she showed up and showed out with Becky. You have Lash, who when she first came on the scene, I was like, oh, I like her partner, Jakara. I think that she's like super cool and swaggy, but all the girls down there are doing like really cool things, and they're going to be a problem in the future.
I love that. You spar well with a lot of the women, if not all of the women, but there's one in particular, a 14-time women's champion, Charlotte Flair. I have to ask, you guys have had a few singles matches and even some feuds that have involved other people, such as Asuka more recently. And I want to know, how important is it for you and Charlotte to have a solidified feud in WWE?
There hasn't been that one big match yet, and we're all waiting for it,
So we actually only had one singles match
on that Raw, right?
It ended in, it was a non-finish.
Right.
So we've never actually had a legit like feud in singles match. For me, that's at the top of my list. Of course, right now it's Io Sky, getting my title from Io Sky. Hands down, she's a champion right now. I'm going for her. But bigger picture, because for me, when I first came into WWE, Charlotte was one of the first people that I looked up to. I mean, she has Ric Flair as her dad, but she came into WWE with zero wrestling experience. She was a collegiate athlete. So I saw myself in her, and I remember being in NXT being like, if I'm ever where Charlotte is, like, I want to have a match with her. Yeah. And I think that, Belair versus Flair, that's a big match. So I'm hoping one day that it happens. I look forward to the day that it happens. Because that's like one person I've been kept away from for the most part. We've been on, we had a triple threat. We've done some tag teams together, but I just feel like it's like two different generations, and it's like for us to collide at the mountaintop. And two, like she's the only horsewoman that I have not defeated yet.
I was about to say that she's the last one left in the.
That's last. That's a goal of mine. So she'll be the fourth that I have to go for. So to me, that's a dream match of mine. I hope that it happens one day. I don't think there's a match right now that could be bigger than that match.
What's funny is technically you did take her undefeated streak recently at SummerSlam when you did technically win the triple threat match, but we need the one-on-one. With that being said, I'm very curious if you had that one match that I don't know how people don't know who Bianca Belair is, right? Even if you don't watch WWE, you're probably gonna know who Bianca Belair is. What's that one match you tell people to watch that really proved how much of a need you were to the game?
Ooh. There's a bunch. That's a hard question. I mean, definitely WrestleMania. Main eventing WrestleMania. 100%. The history that we made, the representation, the importance of that match. That was needed in WWE, and we did that. So 100%, that would be like the match at the top of the list, because that's something that will go down in history. That's something that was needed, that was unprecedented, and that was a match that spoke everything about who I am. But outside of that too, like I feel like any match with Bayley that I've had, because we've made so much history. Also, our matches are so unique and different. And from the Hell in the Cell match, Last Woman Standing match, the ladder match, it's like any of those matches. You just tell anybody to watch any of those matches.
True. I love the WrestleMania match. I feel like I've watched it a ton of times. I feel like things were working in your guys' favor too, because that was the day with the rainstorm. So like the LED posts went there, the lights were a little bit more dim, and it felt like that old smoky wrestling match, two of you in the ring. There was no flashy, like the focus was on you two, and it was just great. I remember saying that to TJ when I had him on the show. I was like, that, and he's like, I didn't even realize that. He's like, that's so true. And I'm like, no, like it was great. You've talked in the past about mental health and some of the stuff you've dealt with. And I just wanted to bring it up now since, you've accomplished so much in your career and you've done so much. If you could go back and talk to the Bianca at that time now, what would you tell her?
At which time?
Let's say college, for example.
Ooh.
That's when you said you dealt with some stuff and you felt like you had some depression and stuff. And I feel like everybody goes through that. And to see how much you've succeeded and how far you've come from that, what advice would you go back and give to that version of yourself?
I would tell her to don't forget to have fun. Because it's all gonna work out. Don't forget to have fun. I feel like I was just so serious and like so worried and full of anxiety and like dealing with depression and I just like was so worried about the future and not having it all figured out. I tell myself, don't forget to just have fun and move forward. And what's for you will be for you as long as you're moving forward. Like you might have to pivot in life. You might be trying hard to go this way and it doesn't work. You might have to pivot. That's not giving up. You have to pivot and it all work out. But in the process, don't forget to like have fun because it'll all work out. And what's for you will be for you as long as you're moving forward. Because I look back like during my college times and I had some fun, but like it just didn't have as much fun as I should have. And even as a kid, like even trying in high school, I was trying to, go to college and I wanted to venture out and get outside of my city. And I was all my other friends were going to parties and they were having fun and they were hanging out. And I was in my room doing 1,000 abs and 500 push-ups a day. And I was at the track running, which it got me to where I needed to go. But I was just so focused on the grind and so serious. And it's like, you're supposed to have fun doing this. I even have to remind myself that now when I have wrestling matches, when I get so nervous, because I'm so full of anxiety and I have to remind myself, hey, this is supposed to be fun. It's supposed to be fun. It's okay to be nervous, but why are you stressed out? This is supposed to be fun. So that's what I would tell myself.
I love that. And I think it's very relatable. So I just wanted you as someone that people look up to share your experience. Because I think a lot of little girls that follow me and stuff that will see this will be like, oh, they're probably going through the same thing. I know there's a lot of people breaking into the wrestling business that are kind of going through the same thing. They're so focused on the destination.
Yeah.
They're not really enjoying the journey, you know? And like, I got to do this. I'm like, don't you realize like these people you're training with right now, 10 years from now, some of them might not even be wrestling no more. They might have kids. And you might not even talk to them. Like, enjoy the time you're having fun with them right now, because that can be gone one day.
Yeah, it's all about the journey. Because I mean, the destination is great, but once you get there, you're there, and then you're just like, okay, what's next? You're always going to be looking for what's next. So you want to make sure that you enjoy that journey to get there, because that's destination amazing.
Well, thank you so much. It was a pleasure and honor to have you on the show. We're both really big fans. I want to make sure Nikki was here for this because you guys are both from the same area, and she's like, I want to talk.
Yeah, you know, Tennessee in the building. We went to rival. We met in Nashville. We went to rival high schools.
Oh,
I went to Brainerd,
Chattanooga. Yes,
Chattanooga, and you went to Austin East.
Listen, the thing about Brainerd, you guys were our rivals, not just for sports, but the cheerleaders, the band,
everything.
We were like so I know we're going over 15 minutes. I don't care.
Sure.
When I had my WrestleMania entrance with the HBCU band, and it was like nostalgia for me because my high school band mimicked the HBCU band. Like we had the dancers, we had the drum line, but Brainerd after like the football game the football game was over.
Yeah,
they were battling on the field with the
always.
band. Cheerleaders were battling during basketball, so it was like Brainerd. Yeah,
best times of my life. That was the high school. When I try to tell people what type of high school experience I had, they just don't get that. That's just.
You definitely don't get that up here in Canada. My high school experience is completely different.
Yeah,
Tennessee.
Experience was amazing. We had like the HBCU style band. I was a cheerleader, so we were the Clovers from Bring It On. I mean, that was like my high school experience. Like it was, like you said, hands down one of the best times of like my life.
Yeah.
Once again, thank you very much. I'll let you do your thing. I appreciate you coming on here. I'll see you guys in January when you guys come to Vancouver. Yes. It was a pleasure, and we'll see you guys all later.
All right, see
you.
It's time to say goodnight. We sincerely appreciate your patronage and hope we've succeeded in bringing you an enjoyable evening of entertainment. Please drive home carefully and come back again soon. Good night.